last week. Actually didn't think there was going to be like for the New York session. There was a good opportunity on, I think it was, didn't that yet? Where was it? So yeah, New York session. I didn't trade the New York Stock Exchange Open, but Nas had a nice little pullback here, and I just kind of gave up on the week on the Friday. I just thought there's just nothing. There's probably going to be no opportunities. So I just looked at US 30. US 30 was just booming out here. So I just thought, oh, I'll just have an early weekend. So wrap things up. I was on daddy duty for Sarah's birthday on the weekend. So her friends came across from Portugal. So I was with Maddie all day, and Sarah had she'd gone to pick up her friends from the airport. So I knew I was going to be distracted on Friday with Maddie. But then it was someone, who was it? I think it was Bruce Lee actually, that messaged on Discord, and it was I saw prices dropping, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I had a look on Financial Juice, and it was Trump having he lost his patience with Canada. So June 29, where is it? It's about 6:30. 6:30 here. We're ending all trade talks with Canada. 6:45. Yeah, ending all trade talks with Canada. We'll tell Canada's tariff level next 7 days. Yada yada yada. I thought, oh, okay, just another example of Freaky Friday having some sort of late manipulation. So when I looked at it, I just thought when I saw US 30 falling, I just thought, well, I'll short it. You know, it had pushed up and up and up and up and up and up, and now we got some FUD coming into the market, and who knows what's going to happen over the weekend. So I thought that's a great opportunity. So it just came late, around 6:30 odd. I took a nibble and got some of this moved pretty quickly, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm doing something stupid. So it was after that 6:45 when that news came out, because I already saw it dropping, and I thought, oh, okay, this kind of confirms it. And then when price was leaving underneath here, I thought I actually shorted from 700, 43,700 up in here to 43,600, just super quick move. So it took that down late, like only got a little piece of it, but still 100 pips. It was what an opportunity. Just kind of fell into my lap. Then what we saw, then it started like, I thought, should I buy it from here? And I thought, nah, hell no. I knew I was starting to overtrade at that stage, so I just removed. I just closed everything down. Made sure I didn't look at it again. Got myself busy, so I was distracted. And then I saw afterwards that it was only like an hour and a half later when the Business Council of Canada came out saying that Canada's PM should drop the digital tax. So this is why Trump got pissed off, was Canada was going to put a digital tax on the US, and then so that's what pissed them off. And then now they're saying that they should drop the digital tax. So basically, just a very quick roundabout, and we saw the market just completely return back up to the highs. Crazy, man, just absolutely crazy. So, yeah, pretty crazy Friday that it ended up being. Just a huge dump, and pretty lucky, because if this is why I was really cautious about, because you never know when these things happen. And when the market was so bullish, it's too bullish to short blindly without some sort of catalyst, but it's too high also to want to buy it. And then it just takes one little tweet from Trump, and we get this like big market reaction, and it just so quickly got reversed. So very, very lucky opportunity to actually grab something for the New York PM. Now, today with German, it's kind of the same situation. I'm really cautious about buying because we're so strong, and what we had basically all of last week, well, apart from Wednesday, what we had was we had Monday, New York finish at its highs. Tuesday, New York finishing the day with barely any profit taking. Wednesday clearly was the profit taking day to set up more buys. Thursday just rallied all the way into the highs, no profit taking. Friday rallied all the way into the highs, had a little stumble with those tweet talks, and then but it closed at these highs. We've got to be very careful about London buying into this, because if London decide to buy here when it opens in 20 minutes time, with all these people that were in the past week, all eyes are on this. It's very dangerous for them to buy and then have these people that potentially still holding longs just decide to sense that London's going to buy, and then they just remove the liquidity to bring price back, because we've got our tactics. So there's typical retail tactics, and you've got typical institutional tactics. Okay. And then, but we've got to think as well, it's not really institutional versus retail, is it? It's actually every man for himself. So you've got institutions versus institutions as well. So they're all, institutions are the ones that move the market, and they're just sensing, they're just trying to hunt each other out as much as they're trying to hunt retail out. So you got to be careful, because it's not like one person pulling the strings here. What we've got is it's kind of like what can happen can trigger a whole bunch of events very quickly with other hedge funds. So if an institution decides to go long, and very quickly it gets sensed in the market that they're going long, and other institutions that are holding longs already decide, oh look, here's opportunity, we can pass our longs to those guys who are willing to buy the highs. That can remove a lot of liquidity from the market and leave some institution holding the bag up here. So I'm actually expecting to see some sort of correction. And once we start seeing the correction underway, that can actually trigger a whole bunch of other events. So think of it like a swarm of birds, right? You've seen those birds that like flock together, and it's not like one bird is controlling where they go. It's all of them just react to what's happening with the bird around it to avoid contact. The bird turns left, they turn left to avoid contact, and then the next bird behind it turns left, and you just see these this pretty nice looking swarm of birds just all moving, seemingly like in uniform, as if they're controlled by one thing, but they're actually not a single one is controlling the pack. So that's one thing I can think I'm worried about here, is if there's either London's not going to do anything on the open. We've already had a pump up. Buyers definitely, we're definitely bullish, but I'm actually worried about there being like a liquidity grab up here. I was kind of disappointed that it pushed up so high, because I'm kind of like, I don't like having to trade more than 90 pip ranges for Asia and pre-London. But where I was really expecting, like this level got tested once already. This level down here is fresh as. And that's where I was thinking, like when I look at this weekly candle, it's like, do I think that this week is going to pass by with no bottom wick? But you see like all these other wicks, the weeks, like the majority of them have bottom wicks. Okay. The majority have bottom wicks. And where that zone is that I'm looking, this one, is just for a bottom wick. Like it's still pretty low, but could you see a world where this new weekly candle actually comes down and retests this level before pushing higher? Like, could you envision that there's going to be a candle like so?
It would make sense to fill some of that fair value gap.
Yeah, I think so as well. So that's why I'm like, if I miss the buys from here, as much as it's like, can look like a scaredy cat, not wanting to buy these highs. I know that if I follow my system, that it's disappointing missing any trade. Like even when I'm watching this blast, I thought there's a good chance prices blast. I'm still disappointed not being able to partake in that. But I'm also just trying to find, especially on the Monday, where's the opportunity for me to make 0.5% or 1% from either direction. Because if I can make that 0.5% or 1%, I really set my week up to finish strong. Because once I'm up for the week, then I can play with those profits. I don't want to start the week on a loss. I don't want to be emotional and take an impulsive trade either. So there's a chance that it goes up and then comes down. So I'm trying to think about where exit liquidity could be or where latent liquidity could be. So this is a triple wicker that I've drawn out on the daily chart where we've got with this overlap between this candle pushed down and then this one wicked up and then this one wicked down. So the boundary where all three candles intersect here, to me, is a good area of demand. The supply. Demand. This is the demand zone. So, and also where there could be latent liquidity is we did see on June 11 that price dropped pretty significantly from here, down, 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 down. So no doubt there's going to be some latent liquidity sat above these wicks. When I say latent liquidity, what I mean is like stop losses. So exit liquidity, that could stop losses would be a buy stop, wouldn't it? So there could be buy stops up here, which would be a perfect place for people that are been buying for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday last week. That just all finish up near the highs of the day. Wednesday was the one that looked like they reloaded, and then to set this week up, I wouldn't be surprised to see just push price up into this latent liquidity where these buy stops are sat, potentially even break higher, and then just really suck more breakout traders in, and then eventually it's just setting price up for a bit of a flush. Okay, that's what I'm kind of looking at. We've also got this consolidation. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks in a row, or 5 candles in a row, all in this area. So I'm expecting this area as well could be an area that, I mean, if I saw divergence up here and we saw money flow slowing, I think that'd also be a very interesting place to look for some sort of correction. The stochastic's very overbought, so we can't keep on going like this pace forever. We look at the VWAP as well, and the VWAP we are fairly contained. So the VWAP third standard deviation is up at this 24,200 level. So that's potentially a very nice zone that we could start to see some rejections. And if we see price push up into that VWAP, then wouldn't be hard to trade it back down to the VWAP. Just go from third standard deviation back down. So I think that's hugely possible as well. Got some divergence forming now. Anyway, we've got 10 minutes before London shows their hand. I think London's going to be the one where London volume coming in could be the one that other institutions want to either hunt each other or see what London's going to do. If London's sluggish, then we could have a repeat of Friday. See how Friday was just so slow to get going. And to me, that makes sense because when you have Thursday, that New York session closes up near the highs of the day with very little profit taking. When that happens, London is often very slow to get going. So remember I pointed that out the other day. So same thing happened on Tuesday. So Monday over here, we've got the on Monday, price closed up near the highs of the day and just rallied all through New York. So there was just no profit taking on this day in New York. So then we get to a London session, London knowing that they've got a lot of volume, very cautious about just committing to buys straight away because they could be extra liquidity for the day before. So price was very sluggish, created a bull flag before then going long once price gave them a decent pullback to go with value. Then that was the same for the week before. I think it was on the Wednesday. Or was it I think it was the week before. I think it was the week before that one again. Anyway, maybe it was a different pair, but I gave an example. Where New York closed up near the highs of the day. It might have been this one. So it was a few weeks back. Where New York closed up near the highs of the day, no profit taken whatsoever. And then when London comes in, London are very careful. So London actually had the sell-off first. So I think it's something to do with New York closing at the highs of the day or the lows of the day. London is often very cautious to begin with. So we've got that kind of situation here where New York, a little bit of an interesting one with that news from Trump and Canada. So we did have a little pullback, but we still closed up near the highs of the day. So I am interested if it just comes back to this level. This level is no longer super fresh because it did get retested, but I was looking at this level as a point of interest. And then, unfortunately, because it got retested, I don't particularly want it to come down to this lower level, but this level down here is very fresh. And you can see the way, like the timing of it is very good. If this happened in New York Stock Exchange Open. So the timing's very good. And you can see like how it consolidated through here and then absolutely blasted. So I quite like this zone, especially as a potential area for a bottom wick for the weekly candle. Anyway, what say you guys? What are you thinking? Thinking something similar? Looking to short, looking long? Got some zones I haven't got on here. What are you thinking? Is anyone thinking? I think maybe a short around 250-ish. Oh yeah, man. That would be the top of that daily triple wicker. Yeah. So this is the thing. It's like if it's thinking this is the conundrum. Is I can identify some levels that I really like, but then I'm like, well, if I want to short from here, it means it's got to get up there. So could I take it up there? Too short. So many times, I was looking to buy from such a good opportunity, and it worked out just fine. But then I was like, could I have taken a short down to that opportunity before going long? But the one time I did try that, I got the shorts down to it, but then I was so happy with the short that I was like, do I want to commit more risk again for the day? Do I want to commit myself to that uncertainty? And, I took the sells down, was well pleased with it. But then when it actually came to my area that I was targeting buys from, right at the time of closing the sell, I just didn't want to get back into a trade again. I was like, I think I'm done. I can actually just relax. Don't have to worry about whether this is going to work or not. I should have just set pending orders and then not looked at it. Oh, Canada's officially scrapped that digital services tax. Oh man, they passed it. It just popped up on Financial Times. They passed it, people criticized it, said, "Oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." They passed it. Trump cut trade talks. Stocks started dropping. An hour and a half later, they said they should drop the digital tax, and now they've actually dropped it. So all that, man, these politicians, man, they seriously just they'll crow about how good of a job they've done to decide that they should drop it, but they don't think about all this wasted time that they spent talking about this and setting it up and designing it just for them to just go and drop it when they got threatened. Crazy, man, absolutely crazy. It's literally like starting a fire and then taking credit for putting it out. Like that's really the perfect analogy I can find of these politicians. Creating work for themselves. So we'll see when it pops up here. So that's good. That's good news, though. Good news if they drop that. But let's see. We've got 2 minutes now. 2 minutes to see how is London going to react to such a strong weekly candle. Are they going to try and juice buyers by giving it a bit of a pump to start, and then it is a rug pull? Kind of thinking that, but I don't want to commit to any open trade at the open, just in case they decide to just do the rug pull immediately and not induce buyers. Maybe there's enough. Maybe there could just be a liquidity void. People pull liquidity, and we can just see it drop. So, what do you guys reckon? Do you reckon the first minute or first few minutes? Do you reckon we're going to see a pump up or a drop? Get your bets in.
I think we're going to see those clean candles all left field. That's what I reckon.
Do you reckon it'll go up first before down into this area?
No, down first.
You go down
That's
first?
it's just a gut feeling.
I think the timing of this Financial Times, I haven't seen it pop up in Financial Juice. It might pop up there in a few minutes. But I reckon that could, if they drop that headline at that time, I wouldn't be surprised to see that be a catalyst for people to push up and induce buyers. But yeah, I think it's not something that I want to actually put money down for it to happen, because it could be such a quick move that man, I'd hate to take a loss immediately. I'd love to get a win, but that'd be a gambler. So it's a coin flip to me. But it looks like a good chance that we'll just pump up in the first minute, and then we'll see what London decide to do. But if it's breaking underneath support with clean candles here, I'm sure we'll come down to revisit this Asia low. Okay, 30 seconds. And then remember, at 9 o'clock as well, we'll start having a German CPI coming out. Anyway, let's load up the MT5. Let's see. Okay, here comes London. So first minute, first couple of seconds was about a 30 pip candle. Kind of retesting. So this is a very interesting level because we pumped up here. This is the lower boundaries. Now we've got the clean candles here to the left. Yeah, man, look at that. Straight down.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your car to bring Lucas and I to Leicester tonight?
Straight down into this little area. So that was where price pumped. This little area where it's see the clean candles and where it gathered itself. Yeah, man. I thought this is. I thought it would fall eventually. I wasn't sure if it'd be the first minute or if it would spike up higher. But this is looking good if it can create some sort of structure to come down to these lower levels. So we're on the 5 minute. Oh no, we're still up here, but we're at the structure. We're at the euro low. So they're basically effectively, if anyone committed to a trade in the Europe Open, the German Open, if they didn't enact in the first 5 minutes and they entered here, London has potentially swept all of them. It would have been risky, but did anyone jump in for a long from in here? I'm sure there was some.
I sold it when it broke that support at the top.
Oh, very good. You get out, take profit.
No, I'm still holding it, but it stops to into profit.
Yeah. Let's see if it can just. Well, this is first batch of orders. This first couple minutes. So now we need to see. We need to see whether this was a liquidity grab. Made sense for London to fall. So now there's London, because we had like divergence. Remember we saw the divergence up there as well. Where was it? Was it 3 minutes or 1 minute? Oh, it was the 1 minute I was looking at with the divergence. So just need to see, because this is an area of demand. This is like where definitely is a good little area from here before it exploded higher. And then London just refilled this zone. It's come back and rejected here. So we need to see if this area is going to hold. Alrighty.
Thinking sell to buy as the longer the overall move for the day.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I'm very bullish on this. It's just there's no way I could buy up here. I'd love to see it to drop down to this level. So I think there's going to it'll prove some. It's likely that it can prove some support around this area because there will be people that are just buy the dip. So if London needs to do a bit of if London is trying to position themselves for a buy, then I mean maybe it just is a clean drop and then back straight up we go. That's always a potential. Otherwise, if it's going to be a shakeout, then it could do the flag, sort of like break the low. People thinking, oh, maybe it's going to go a bit lower. Price come up. People will be very happy that maybe they got a great price. Break the low, and then start getting this bearish structure. And then once it's made a couple lower lows, that'll be where people are thinking, oh shit, maybe this is not going to hold. So if I held from last week, from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday from last week, and now starting to see this bearish structure, that could be a shakeout where we start seeing more buyers give up on those buys and start looking just to protect profits. And that could be where London accumulates a buy position, but they're able to get a better price than where London opened. So one thing we need to be careful here is we've got some structure. We've got some market structure where price consolidated before pumping higher. And then just be careful that this is not like a sell side inducement. As in inducing people to that just sort of see this and then start selling here. Like we'll see if this is a fake out. So I think to make things easier, it would be better for us to see a bounce. If we see a bounce, or maybe not a big bounce, maybe just a little bounce, and then starting to pressure down here again, then I think that would be a good sign that there's quite a bit of weight in this move down. Now, if you're positioned short and you see price push up and then back down, then if it's breaking this high, then you really don't want to be part of that, holding sells if something's starting to do this movement. But if it pushes up and then makes a 5-minute sort of rejection candle or something like that, and then pushing back down again, then I think you can pretty high probability that we break the lows and then we actually do start to migrate down to these these better demand levels. See what have we got? Looking like a pretty big, quite a lot of weight, isn't there? So we've got Asia low. We're about to take that. Just right now, we've taken the Asia low. Okay, stocky on the 1 minute as well. It's getting pretty oversold here. And now we'll take an Asia low. Okay, so price can maybe down another 20 pips to the next level. Hopefully we can get a little pullback here. So it's pulling back. Take the Asia low, so I'm expecting some reaction. Now I kind of want to see this 1 minute be able to climb back to overbought and then look to try cash in on price, just continue to grind. Something like that. But because it is Asia low as well, we second standard deviation on the VWAP. Maybe this is like up here because we did open with some force. Yeah, we'll see. So 3 hour candle, look at that so far.
Go to our chart, Hayden.
Yep.
I've got a structure drawn off those two bearish candles just to the left there.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one up.
Yep.
Yeah, our structure drawn off that, and the last 15-minute candle just closed inside that structure.
Oh, I see. So you think it'd go down the bottom now?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it makes sense. And then they got a triple wicker here as well at this point. So that's where I'm kind of thinking that we just keep on grinding our way down this area, this lower demand area. So we'll see the 1 minutes now starting to make a bottom. So we've had one low, two lows, three lows, so maybe another couple lower lows just to break some confidence.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Danny, how are you, mate?
No, I'm pretty good for Monday.
That's good. Man, today, 30 degrees, sunny all day here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be an amazing day. And it's only 8:15 in the morning. So probably.
Did you say 30 degrees?
Yeah, man. People are going to go crazy over here.
Wow.
We're going to have a lot of pink Brits tomorrow. People melting in the streets like zombie apocalypse.
30's not hot.
No, it's not, but it is for the UK.
Yeah, for the UK, it's 30 degrees here is different.
Where are you, Mike?
I'm in Port Stephens, New South Wales.
Okay.
Yeah, 45
no,
minutes
Port
north of Newcastle. Yeah.
Okay.
How about yourself? Where are you at, mate?
No, I'm in Melbourne near the MCG.
Yeah, I know it well. I'm from Melbourne originally.
Oh, yeah.
I got sick of the bad weather and came up here, and I'm enjoying the bad weather up here.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, it's nothing but rain for about 3 months. So it's been crazy.
The El Nino, huh? El Nino's hitting you hard.
Yeah, we're just getting the beginning of this big rain dump, whatever they're calling it.
The rain bomb.
So I'm probably getting, like over 100 mil of rain over a couple of days. And the floodwaters here were just starting to recede a bit. So it's really can't handle it. I don't know what's going on with it. Like summer though was really hot. It was hot and dry, beautiful. Winter's been really cold and wet and pretty rubbish.
Yeah, it hasn't rained here for so long in the UK, which is surprising. That the actual canal outside the house, so we've got the river on one side and then we've got the canal on the other. The canals, they need to pump some water into it. It's like literally, the boats can't get past it anymore. It's like,
really?
Yeah, it's literally like, it's people almost.
So is that from a dry summer?
Yeah, it felt like it hasn't rained. There's been like a little bit of rain, but it hasn't actually had like, UK it's normally just rain all the time. So it hasn't rained for a good few weeks now.
Right.
Well,
Hayden, enjoy the good weather.
Yeah. Just wish my daughter could appreciate it.
She will eventually. Don't wish for that. Before you know it, she'll be out there in a bikini. When's the rain and cold gone?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, Danny, what's up?
I spoke to Pepperstone. They should just get the updated the thing on TradingView, and they just reimbursed me.
Oh, okay, cool.
For those indicators.
Yeah. You should because if you're trading, there's a minimum volume which is not hard to get, especially on indices. That they should be giving you the better.
No, they've just told me whatever you do, Danny, whatever you do, we'll give you the money back. Just
okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. We'll set that up on Wednesday.
I'm classified as a pro with them for some reason.
Pro. Oh, Pepperstone Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's good. Pepperstone Pro is good. That's what I got as well. So you get the better leverage.
Well,
and
you're a bigger trader than me, mate.
No, it's not about that though. It's but it's definitely.
And what are we looking
handicap
for now?
leverage. Well, I'm looking for it to we're getting the 1 minute's getting overbought again. So I really thought London was going to have I thought London would be very hesitant to jump into buys. So it makes sense that they sold off. Now I want to know if this is a bottom, and it starts pushing up from here. Very likely as well. But then also I'm trying to think that if we can make one more lower low, then I think we can actually have a fair I'm just unsure yet because we've taken Asia low, we've taken German low. That this is a good area for London to take buys. But if we can actually break this low here, then I'm pretty confident we're going to go all the way down to 24,000. So I'm looking for signs of a top here, and I just wanted to make sure that we were oversold in the stocky, so we had a lot of momentum to the downside, which clearly we did. And now that we're getting back to overbought, I want to see if this is going to be I'm waiting to see if we're going to get a little fractal high here. If this 1 minute can close like so, then I'll look to I'll probably jump in for a sell to take the low, and then if we can push down, probably have a reaction at 24.50, and then if we can eventually make our way down to 24 flat,
2,400.
Yeah, because I really I like this zone, this yellow zone. What I really like though is the zone below it. I'd love to see price, because to me this was tested already on Friday, late Friday. The zone I'd really actually be keen on is this lower one, this one down here. But that's a long way away. That's like 200 pips away.
Yeah.
But if it can get down there, I think this would be a great place for longs long term, because then on the weekly chart, that would just on the weekly chart, it will just be a bottom wick to here. So I'm kind of expecting this weekly candle to I'd love it to do something like this, and then to try and get buys in from here. Oh, looks like we're breaking down now. So it looks like that 1 minute did create that fractal high right here. Breaking that low. See what the reaction is at 24.50. But I think we can just break the backs of anyone that is committed to longs from Friday. I think people will start profit taking, conserve their profits from last week. And then this is where London can start testing the waters, start doing their accumulation phase.
Okay.
Have a look at the 4 hour now.
Yeah, 4 hour will be looking pretty. Oh, I was looking at the 3 hour before. 3 hour will be looking beautiful, man. Look at that.
Yeah, but the 3 hours got that, most of the 3 hour, the previous candles stuck in that dead period for Pepperstone.
Oh, Pepperstone.
You on Forex.com. Yeah, you on Forex.com, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually not dissimilar today.
Yeah, so I think at least coming down to this triple wick area makes a lot of sense. So looking good, man. Looking very good. Okay, there's the first zone. I mean, I'd love it just to go straight down, but it doesn't bloody do that, does it? Especially when we're watching it.
Yeah, I feel like this is setting up for a nice long in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Just keeps going down.
Yeah, for sure.
This area that it's dropped out of is that 4 hour wick on the 11th of June as well. So
yeah,
probably good for a short.
Yeah, I was investigating that 11th of June. And the top of that candle from 11 June was this big one here. this one here. So we know that there should be, with this candle looking like that, there should be a lot of latent liquidity at the tops of that. And what happened today was right at the Frankfurt Open, it rushed up to that area. So I was exploring latent I was looking at liquidity, and I was just doing a little bit of, I was just listening to a few things, and apparently I didn't know this at the time, but when I was looking at like depth of market, so like the layer 2 liquidity, where you can actually see where pending orders are set. Not us, but like institutions have access to that data. I think we can get that data, but that's from somewhere. Anyway, when they can see limit orders, so they can see depth of market, so that will look something like where's Dom? I thought we had Dom here. Anyway, you'll have like how many contracts are put. Is it here, Dom? Volume footprint. Anyway, you can imagine like at each one of these price points, there's going to be so many orders set there, like in sell, bid and ask orders, and if you can see layer 2 data, you can see where orders are accumulated. So then if someone puts in a big order, it can rush down to, like, it just fills all the orders that are like this. It just picks, like, if you've got, say, 500 contracts at this price, then 1,000 contracts at this price, 20 contracts at this price, 40 contracts this price, 80 or 60 contracts this price, and someone puts in an order to short of, like, say 3,000, it's going to absorb the first 500, the next 1,000, the next 20, the next 40, next 60, and it's just going to keep on going until that 3,000 contracts has been filled, right? Now, that's limit orders. I didn't realize that apparently. So if we put in a trade, so let's say you're selling from that fractal down. Let's say that your buy is a buy limit, okay, and your sell, whether you went in, maybe you went in at market, so that was a sell order. Your stop loss is a buy stop, and on that layer 2 data, apparently, like when you put this, if we put this trade in to the market, and they put the buy, your take profit, which would be a buy limit. Your buy limit is visible to liquidity hunters, as in like institutions that have depth of market that subscribe to depth of market data. That buy limit is visible, but your buy stop is not visible. So apparently, stop orders are not seen in the market. Your stop orders are held by your broker. And then when it gets triggered, or that price gets triggered, your broker then facilitates the trade. So I was like, oh, so you actually can't see stop losses then. And that's correct. You can't see stop losses. But what happens is if price pushes up there, and then what happens is they test to see if there's liquidity at this level. So if all of a sudden the order book starts getting filled with transactions that are appearing at this level, then it's quite clear that that was a liquidity point, and it's just quite a common place where stop losses would be. So it's called latent liquidity. It's not entirely visible, but it appears after price reaches it. So what I assumed with a daily candle like this, that there would be latent liquidity up here. It doesn't change the way we trade. We still say it's liquidity above that wick, but now it's just actually got a bit more of a term for it. Anyway, we're coming down here very nicely. So we see how the stocky was very accurate here. Price came down. We took out the Asia low. We took out the Frankfurt low, the pre-London low. Price bottomed for a bit. Price came back up. Never was able to break that high. Was able to create a fractal high here. Stocky at the same time was getting overbought. Price then, once it started breaking this low, then it continues, comes down to the next level, pauses here for a little bit, then it starts breaking through, and now we're getting very close to this level. And we're starting to see some divergence here. So no doubt what we're seeing, if this divergence fails, then we can see price continue to collapse. But if this diversion holds, then what it means is London that committed to sells immediately from up here, or just took liquidity off the table, causing it to drop, which is the other way. There's just no buying. London maybe had buy orders set and then just remove them, and that could reduce the liquidity. So we see a drop, and then when we see divergence, to me this is accumulation. So they could still continue dropping lower. We know that they've got very deep pockets, but when we are seeing momentum slow like so, this would be maybe some potential buyers come into the market, which makes sense because this was structure here. So there will be buy the dip people at this point. So it makes sense to see price start to slow down here.
There's a weekly level right at the bottom of that doji as well.
And a weekly level is there. So, oh yeah, right here. Yeah. We got the week of 26 May closed at this point. That was open. Yeah, I still would like to see a lower bottom wick. I just think this is we moved 120 pips, no, 140 pips from the London Open. We know that's a good move, 140 pips. And what's the stocky? Not stocky, sorry. The VIX. VIX is under 20, so that's under 20. 120 pips is a good move, especially in the first 33 minutes. So I'm not surprised we're seeing price find some support. I wouldn't want to be a buyer yet, though. That's for sure. I think definitely hold on to your selling. Looking for it to continue dropping down, and then once we got divergence in this yellow zone, then I'd be more interested for potential reversals back up. But ideally, it just drops all the way down into here, and we correct a lot of this Friday move, because this Friday move is kind of a bit sus, the way that it moved up so much. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a rug pull. And because there was so much positivity last week as well, the news flow kind of shifted. It was all good news, trade deals being signed, peace in the Middle East. What else was there? Just a lot of positivity. So it's very likely now that with all this positivity that comes out, now just to keep that news agenda running, media, then the next thing is they announce big news and everyone reports on it. So good news here. Good news or bad news, just catalyst. So big news. You get this, and the news flow, what it will do then is they'll run different versions of how it came about, and this will be all positive, and then to keep the people interested in it. Now what they'll start doing is you get a news shift, and this will be where people start to question it. And often then they start pulling holes in the story, and it can lead to all this positive sentiment. Then it can start seemingly that, oh, look, you know what, maybe it wasn't as good as we thought it was. And this is where when they start questioning it, this becomes a different news flow. And then they keep on running it. They start having people counter arguments, and eventually then it gets replaced with a new catalyst. And then the same thing again. The new catalyst causes all this hype, and then it starts that runs for a bit, and then they start questioning it, and we kind of get that breathing in, breathing out. You know what I mean? So to break you've got people that might buy the dip here off the first one. Price, dropped down, made a lower low. People start thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't have bought that bloody dip. No, this will be the first dip here. Price pushed up, dropped, made a lower low. Okay, no, it's still part of it. It's just a deeper retest, maybe head and shoulder pattern, and then it goes lower again. You're like, oh, okay. But people that were really patient thought, oh, I'll wait for the inducement. Price starts going up, nearly breaking the high, and then down it goes again. And now we're like, fuck, bought too early here. I'm in it for the long run. Buckle down, put the seatbelt on. I'm here for this is an investment now. And then it just keeps them grinding down and down and down, and people get so sick of this thing. People up here stressed out. They've taken losses maybe 2-3 times. They give up on it. Fine, if buys don't work, I'm going to short this bloody thing. I'm going to start shorting it down here. I think it's going to go all the way down to Valhalla. Now it starts like pushing up higher. So that's the usual cycle. So I think 4 to 6 swings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower lows from the London Open, and now we're down 140 pips from the Open, or more now, nearly 150 pips. I think here's a good place that people, 140. Here's a good place that people just, if you're a buyer at the start and you're so keen to come to this market on the weekend, you're kind of exhausted already and you're 38 minutes in. And if you're a buyer, you've either holding some drawdown, getting a bit emotional with it, or taking a few losses. If you're a seller now, or if you decided that you wanted to sell now, price has already gone a long way. So now people will start getting paralyzed here. Well, like, I don't know what to do. I thought longs, but that didn't work out. I think sells, but I'm kind of at a difficult area now, and people get paralyzed. And this could be the start of the accumulation where there's no buy, it's just sort of washed everyone out. Now it's a great place for London to think, perfect. We didn't want to buy up these highs. We wanted to flush out people that were holding longs from last week. I don't think this is much of a flush out, but at least London weren't buying from here. They actually were able to buy it low. So it just depends on how much people are starting to dump or not. So we need to see if we get a proper bottom signal put in here. Otherwise, this can continue going lower. And I'd really like it to come down to this bottom yellow area. Like, I'd be so... I think it'll just make the week much more interesting to be down here on Monday rather than having a rally on Monday. Having a rally on Monday could have been the worst outcome, I reckon, because then it's even higher than I was more comfortable to buy. So I'm even less comfortable buying that, but it's so strong that I don't really want to short it. But at least now it's come down and it created bearish structure. I think there's been a couple of like little nice selling opportunities as it pushed underneath and then dropped down to these levels. And now, if we are having a long bias for the week, this is a much more interesting place to look for long accumulation than it was up here. So let's just see if we can continue this running down. But we are seeing divergence here. So we are likely getting to the bottom of this move. See if what we want to see is if divergence can hold, price can get overbought, and then have a pullback, but not break that low, and then create like a resistance and a support. And if we're starting to break above the resistance again, leaving the higher supports with divergence, and it's already pulled back to a zone, then I think the market structure would be starting to turn positive. Then we can start playing potentially we can start pushing up again, but still very early in the week. So yeah, careful. Stocks opened down overall. I had a look at the top 10 in German 40, and all the car companies have dropped out. They're all getting hammered.
But what's moved into replacement, Hayden?
No, they're still there. They just dropped the order has dropped.
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah, so German 40 market cap companies. I'm assuming this is up to date. So it's got SAP number one. They're number one by far. They're not gonna change. Okay, so SAP, Siemens, Deutsche Telekom, Airbus has moved up above Allianz. So Deutsche Telekom, why they're down is because that's T-Mobile network in the US, and that's their actual biggest T-Mobile in the US. So profitable for this company, which is a German company, but they're affected because even with T-Mobile being very profitable arm, the euro strength actually is then any money profits coming from the US in US dollars is translating to far fewer euros. So it's we're seeing like Deutsche Telekom actually be down over the last 30 days, but that's purely because of euro strength, not because of how profitable the company is. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, Airbus, Allianz, so Rheinmetall, man, Rheinmetall has been a massive mover. These guys were not top 10 that long ago, but now they're up underneath Allianz. So the sixth big business in the world, in the German 40. I mean, look at the rise. Look at the rise for Rheinmetall since the start of the year. It's nearly 4x'd. All their defense spending. So they were literally like 14th, I think, from memory, when at the start of the year, and now they're 6th. Okay. Let's just fix this order. So then we've got Siemens Energy. I didn't put Siemens Energy there. Munich RE. That's this one. So that's yeah, that's right. Siemens Health is underneath here. Then you got Deutsche Merck is here. Look at Mercedes. Mercedes is now 13th. Mercedes, BMW, and then Volkswagen 17th. This used to be the top. So I didn't realize though that Volkswagen actually took over Audi. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Although they would have been up the top before the big emissions scandal, that's for sure. And they haven't come back at all. They're still struggling.
Yeah, but they took over Audi. So
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Don't they own a few others as well? I mean, obviously Porsche, but that was sort of always from day dot. But I think they own a few others.
Yeah, Porsche's got its own branch still. You see, here's 19th.
Yeah, but it's owned by Volkswagen though, isn't it?
I think, yeah, but they still operate under its own thing. But Volkswagen took over all the Audi shares. I was like, I was like, where's Audi? But it's gone.
Hmm.
I thought Porsche bought a massive chunk of Volkswagen several decades ago.
Oh, the other way around. Porsche
No,
bought Volkswagen.
I thought Porsche had a big invested interest in Volkswagen from decades ago. I didn't think it was the other way around.
Okay.
I'll have a look. I'm pretty sure that was the case.
You see, who are the Japanese ones? There was a Honda and Subaru. No, Honda.
Now Subaru's merging with Toyota. Well, Toyota's sort of buying Subaru. No, it's Honda and Mazda, I think.
Oh, Honda and Mazda, was it?
I think.
Honda was in trouble when they got bought.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because I mean, gee, they make good stuff. Like their outboards are great, their bikes are great. I mean, their cars are good. Like it's a good product, Honda. It's definitely a good product.
Yeah, it was the lack of evolution, wasn't it? They just didn't keep up with the times.
That's been happening. Yeah.
Like the blockbuster under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Porsche owns a controlling stake in Volkswagen.
Other way around. Cool.
Huh.
Yeah, it's full 31.9%.
No way.
Yeah,
I think
did
they
not
had
know
done,
that.
but they did it. They bought into them years ago.
Oh, I thought Volkswagen owned that. Didn't Volkswagen come first, and then wasn't Porsche their sort of subsidiary company in the beginning? I mean, I'm talking about the 19, around the World War times.
I'm not
I
sure.
thought it was that way originally.
I have no clue.
But Audi have been part of the VW group, I think, for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm not sure about where Porsche started. No, I'm not sure.
So now Volkswagen has full control over Audi. They've just bought them out. So that's it.
No. This is going back some still, like maybe 20 years ago.
But now you said Audi have been completely bought out, so they're 100% owned by Volkswagen now.
No, I was looking for Audi because I thought from memory that I remember seeing Audi in the top 40 or Audi. So Audi's. Oh, I think what the confusion was that the German 40 is the top 40 companies, but you can still trade Audi on the German stock exchange. It's just not part of the top 40.
Oh, right.
But the Audi price is Audi stocks are fully controlled by Volkswagen, and I think it's incorporated into the Volkswagen price.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I've seen Audi somewhere. Then I thought for some reason it was the top 40, and when I was looking for it, I did some as well as searching, and then I saw the news that Volkswagen actually owned Audi. I didn't know.
They own a hell of a lot, Volkswagen. They own Bugatti.
A lot, eh?
Yeah, well, all the frames and all the technology they put into the Audi, and then the previous Audi's version they put into the VWs, and the previous VW versions they put into Seat.
Oh, really? Is that
how
it works?
Like Skoda.
Huh.
Yeah.
So this 5-minute candle's looking interesting. And on the 3-minute, we did pull back now. Oh, sorry, not the 3-minute. The 1 minute, we did pull back again to overbought. So this is a very critical time. That are we going to at the moment we've followed the path pretty nicely, like just making little lower highs, lower lows. You short of the pullback, Michael? Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good idea, just to keep on going down. Because I trimmed some, and then I was wondering if I can get back in, or at the moment I'm just leaving the runner, and the runner was only just above this wick.
Are you in short, Hayden?
Yeah, I was in short. So when price was over, when I was talking about this doji, this little one here, I was like, if this can actually start breaking down, because I was worried about this being the pullback. So when things get overbought, the plan was to go down, but then it wasn't to touch the open because I didn't know what the open was going to do, if it was going to go up or down off the open, and went straight down. So that's good. That shows us the hand. Then as price is going down, first time touch at the Asia open, Asia low, very careful. And then when it's oversold like this, I can't enter sells. So I was just waiting for the pullback. Price pulled back. I'm happy that I was looking for sells because I wanted price to come down to these lower levels. So overbought in a downtrend is my entry criteria. So I entered on.
Thank you.
You're welcome, mate. So I entered on. It was when this candle was falling. So my actual entry was like 24. What's the price here? 66.59. On my thing is 67. Yeah, okay. So I entered on 88 as equivalent. 88 is equivalent. Around that 80, 85, 88. So around about here. So that's currently where my entry is. My stop loss is just at my entry. So nice little candle here. I was trying to play with this volume footprint as well. Has anyone played with volume footprint? Doesn't work on Forex.com, unfortunately. It looks like I tried it before, and it just gave me things like this. I was like, what the hell is this? And I didn't realize, but if you zoom in, that's actually got the numbers. So what we've got is we had some negative delta. This is the biggest negative delta. So number of contracts. Oh, here's a good one. So total. So this was the initial push down, and then this is where it sort of based itself. So if things are correct, then this area would be an area of demand. Supply. So potentially, if price just rejects from this one, price can come back here. It can just retest it, but if it actually breaks above it, that's a very bad sign for any shorts that have been held. But that area could be the area because we had a big volume down. So this is the drop, base, drop. And because this is supply here, if we push up and we break that top of supply and we make a higher low and we break above again, then we've got clean candles to fill. But if it just comes up and rejects from there again, then that could be the next move down. So I think it could be worth, like, if it'll stop me out if it gets back up here. But I think it could be worth a go again if we think it can keep, if you doubt that this is the low of the week. So I still hold it out that I think the low of the week could be this level, because I really like this. Just looks, I mean, if it's not now that it does it, at some stage this is very attractive. the way that just pumped, accumulated, and then absolutely pumped, I think that this is a very attractive level for a reaction. So you're an Aussie. What's gold doing? Gold's up. Cryptos are down a little bit, not much though. What are the stockies doing, Michael? Are they still down? Or have they recovered some? Looks like some recovered. Okay, so if this candle can close, we've got 2 minutes. This will be the close of the hour. So the first hour was pretty bearish. Now the 5-minute candle, if this candle closes like so, then this has created a fractal low. I mean, it kind of has created the fractal low. Depends if it's if you require 2 candles to be lower or 1 candle. What do you guys think? You reckon London's accumulating here? You reckon this is the low? Or do you reckon it's got another, like, it definitely looks like an accumulation. I think for an accumulation, they should have a sweep, shouldn't they? Like, for it to be like, it'd be quite a bit hard to actually take the sell. Sorry. It'd be hard to take the buy from here just like this, unless you truly believe this is it. Oh my God. Oh, that's right. They've got news, don't we? That's right. Forgot that we had news at 9. We had the German CPI. Okay. So let's see how that came out. So So 0.2 prior, they didn't give a forecast, but what was it? 0.2, 0. Minus 0.1, 1.8, 0.2, 2.2. Okay. To see what this volatility does, man, that slipped my stop loss. Yeah, is that? I mean, it didn't hurt me, but it slipped me. But thankfully, thankfully I already taken partials, but my actual stop loss got slipped by 20 pips.
I think it missed my stop by about 2 pips.
Oh, I did it. 14 pip stop, 14 pip slippage I got. Far out, man. Yeah. 14 pip slippage. Okay, so back in short. Yeah, so now let's see if that was it. See if now that liquidity grab, if it was liquidity grab, see if it can go down to here now.
Pushed me.
So the new hour. Yeah, man. Let's see. Strand big caps are doing so well. Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna give it another go. I'm gonna risk some profits. I'm gonna go back in short. That was the area that I was thinking. If it does push up here and reject, then as long as it rejects, so that's the stop loss will just be up there. Oh, crap. I think that trade that even though I took partials, I don't think that's going to count on my prop account. It's on my personal account as well, but I think because it got stopped out with that news, even though I took partials, I don't think it's actually going to count at all. What a fucker. That was 1%.
That's a news. So it's a news trade.
It's going to be a news trade now.
Yeah.
Because they got stopped out. Fuck. That was 1%. Let me check. What a prick, man. If that's the case, they're going to be so pissed off that I forgot that it was there. Oh no, looks like it. Okay. No, looks like it's okay.
You should be okay, and it doesn't look like it's red folder.
Yeah, I'll see what they do, but it looks like it's fine because what they've done is the partials that I took are considered separate trades, and then because the runner actually got stopped out of the loss, then they don't care. They don't care that I lose on a news trade, that they wouldn't have accepted it if it was a win. But because I got slipped on the loss for the runner, there was only the runner that won't count, but the actual the partials are fine.
We've got happy Hayden, have we?
What was that, sorry?
We have got a happy Hayden.
Well, I'm not happy I got slipped, but I'm happy that the rest of the trade counted.
That's what I meant.
Yes, yeah. It's so important to. That's why I found like it's just such a. It's so important that if you're trading prop accounts, is not to waste your time only doing prop accounts. Like if you're going to do it, you got to link it with a real account. What did you say? Was it Mike? Did you say something?
Yeah, sure, man. How does that work with prop accounts? Just I'm fortunate enough to not use one. Like, did you put the trade on and then would they just void it, or would they just like take your profit and not give it to you, or like what are they doing there?
It just comes up as like you've got a list of all your trades that you've taken. So you've got to look at your trade history, and then the gives you the details like a normal trade journal, and then you've got the profit and loss column on the right hand side, and it'll be either a positive number or a negative number, and if there any numbers are highlighted in red, then it means that trade didn't count. So on the MetaTrader 5 terminal, it looks just normal, but when you go into the prop account, it'll say, for example, my account might be 22,156, for example. That could be my balance, but that would be my equity in the account. But for their purposes, my balance would be, say, 22,000, which means that the balance is the equity minus voided trades.
Huh. I hate them. Hey, they suck.
Well, yeah, I've kind of gone through the highs and the lows of them. Initially, it was like avoided them at all costs, think they were a scam.
Yeah.
And then they just hung around for so long, and then I thought, oh, I'll try it, and then I had some reasonable success, and then the wheels fell off when I felt that I got violated for just things that I just don't think I think it was pretty unfair. Like, of course, there was some things I did wrong, and I can accept the things I know that I did wrong, but when there were things that I didn't do wrong, and then I still got like some grey interpretation of their rule, which they then said that it didn't count, I was really pissed off. But I think I was pissed off as well because not just that you had money coming in that I assumed I was going to get, it was just that when they said I broke a rule, it was like, you broke it 2 weeks ago. Oh, so it never would have come up unless I actually asked for the payout. But then I was like, if I broke the rule, why didn't you just tell me then and there that I'd broken a rule? Why does it wait until, I've just wasted so much time trading, thinking like, what if I started the drawdown and then I got that account up like 10%, and then I took the payout, and maybe that first trade that I took was I broke the rule, but then all the other time that I spent building that account up was just for nothing. So like that side of things really pissed me off. To me it was just a waste of time. So
it's a bit like a roadside speed camera, and ping you.
Yeah, man.
And then 3 months later, here's a bill. You're like, where the hell was I? What was I doing? What?
Yeah. I got
it's for road safety. So sure, mate.
So then I stopped for a while on them, and then I thought, well, it's like if the idea of them still are very good, and I just wish it was like a more legitimate company that can say, well, if why can't we just find a company that will actually take me on my merit and just just trade with me, don't trade against me. So that's why I was exploring these other ones. Fivers, they do say that after your test and evaluation, there's a possibility of putting you onto a live account, and that the way that they hedge risks is that they will put some trades onto live accounts of their own live accounts. So it sounds like they've I mean, I can't know for certain whether they do it, but they say they do it. In that case, then I was like, well, let's just give it a go. Let's see if there's any issues. It doesn't actually cost that much to do it. But this time, I'm going to be smarter in that I'm not going to waste my time. Like I'm going to trade my own personal account anyway, but I'm just going to make sure that whatever I do on this account is copied across to my personal account, so that if I win on this one, I know I've won. Right? I've made money, but if this account just blows up, this prop account, then that's it. I've just, this account will blow up, but it's not like I've actually wasted any time because I did all the same trades on my personal account, and that's the way I want to do. Is I want to trade the prop account the same as I trade my personal account.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've asked you before, but I'll ask you again because I can't remember. Darwin X, have you done anything with them or got an opinion about them?
I had a look at it. Interesting model. I haven't tried them out, but very interesting model.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the subscription-based one, though. I just stayed away from the subscription-based ones because, you just don't know how long, like, because I have, like, I risk less on the prop accounts than I do on my personal account. So I have, like, a multiplier, or I just adjust the, like, have a minimum lot size that I'll trade. So, like, whatever that I put on the prop account, if it's a small trade, it'll at least bump it up to the minimum for the personal. So I can take my time with the prop.
Are they worth all the heartache, Hayden?
The most recent experience I've had with the fivers has been good. They've paid me out already a couple of times.
Yeah, I know nothing about any of them.
They've scaled the account once already. So, and then on my personal account, I'm well pleased. I'm just trading like we normally would, but then on the prop account, like, I've had no issues with them. So yeah. What?
Okay, I've had no idea what they are, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if I just keep on trading as normal, as long as the account doesn't blow up, like, I'm close to the next scale again. So they keep on adding anywhere between 50% to your capital every time you hit 10%. So I'm getting very close now. I was hoping to try get it this week, but then see if they scale my account up again to the next tier. And apparently you can go all the way to what was it, over 1 million? That'd be amazing to just have a prop account that I started from, like, pretty small number, and then just let it scale every time I hit 10%. It scaled, and then just making money on the side anyway on my personal account. So yeah, man, I'll let you guys know if something goes, like the thing with Alpha and all those other ones. The problems began after 3 to 4 payouts. Then all of a sudden it was like, hey, this guy actually is profitable. We're not making any money from him. Let's just find some way to violate his account. But Fivers at the moment, they don't have any. I mean, their rules are pretty transparent. So, like, it's pretty, like, one thing is, like, for news, like with a lot of them, if that news trade, then if that was Alpha or some of these other ones, that my account would be gone. Doesn't matter how profitable it is, and doesn't matter that was pretty small size remaining. That like 14 pip slippage didn't bother me whatsoever. Still overall was about 1% made. That would be like this account then is toast if that was another prop account. Whereas for them, they say it's not a breach. It just doesn't count to your profit. So that's a huge factor that you got to consider. Sorry, Michael, I didn't say. Do you think Euro strength may be taking its toll on the DAX 40, but domestic mid caps getting a boost? Yeah, I'm not sure for this the Euro strength. So I don't think so. I think it definitely helps the domestic mid caps. On some of the top companies, it might be taking a toll, as in any multinational company that like gets such a huge, like the car companies, for example, that's definitely taking a toll. On the top ones, but then there's so much like some of the companies that still rely on a lot of internal Europe, they'll be getting the boost with all this extra spending. So it's not the Euro strength necessarily, it's that Europe removed that debt break and now they're committed to spending so much money on defense and just productivity. So that's really helping. What else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I got a fine the other day. It pissed me off. I got to actually send the letter in. So I really like, as when I drove down to London last Sunday, I seriously don't like. I'm a pretty safe driver. Like I barely speed. If I speed, it's like a couple miles over, and it's usually if it's just going with the flow of the traffic. But I'm usually very mindful, and somehow like we got a letter saying that I went through a red light on the motorway. I'm like, what's this? I didn't go through any motorway light, and there's no red lights on the motorway. But apparently there was a couple of accidents, and I literally just went with the flow. And apparently the on the motorway, they've got the different lanes, and then there's a sign that where if there's an accident, they'll move people over. And I think what I've done, this is what even pisses me off even more, is that there was a stranded vehicle on the left, and I think they closed the first two lanes, but it was like ages up, and I think there was an X, but there was literally like, this is the accident happened, or stranded vehicle had happened ages ago, so there was literally no traffic. I mean, there was traffic, but it wasn't like standstill. And I think because I just went up here and it was X as I went underneath it before I merged. And it wasn't even like merging like a zipper. There was no need. There was literally hardly anyone there. That I think going underneath this red X in the left lane as well, of all things, gave me they sent me an attempt to prosecute fine. It's not even a speeding fine, man. It was literally that. I think it was this one. I don't think it was going that way into that lane, but whatever it was, apparently it went past underneath a red X, and there must have been hundreds of people that copped this fine, because literally, like, I couldn't even, when Sarah sent me the thing, I couldn't even think of anything I possibly could have done wrong.
Apparently, it's all about road safety.
Oh, I know, that's the thing. It's gonna cost me £100 and 3 demerit points. And I haven't had a fine in over 20 years. So that's why I'm so dirty at it.
It's heartbreaking, man. Yeah, I've been there. I had a street for more what was it, 15 years or something, and then I got done for speeding and being on my mobile phone. It was just perfect storm.
That's
yeah,
fun.
yeah, and don't ever get in the car with me. By the way, I'm pretty full on. But I don't seem to get speeding tickets.
See,
Just pure text connection.
I don't even actually recall their red X's, and I was driving with like there's because I drove down with one of my other mates on my team. And I'm like, is there something that I did? Like, as in, like, do you remember there being like closed lanes around where this thing was? And he's like, no, I don't recall at all. And apparently it can flick on. And if you're just unlucky if it flicks on and you go underneath it at that time, that is still apparently it's revenue, isn't it? There's no way I'm going to be able to get around it. I just wish I still had my Aussie license, that I'd be like, oh, here's my Aussie license, here's my number.
I'm sure if you had a black Range Rover with special government plates, that you'd probably get away with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's where a dash cam comes in handy as well.
Got a fine Australia for my son leaning forward to look at the cameras. What? Just leaning forward.
What? Who got a fine?
Michael saying.
Yeah.
Oh, a seatbelt. Oh my god.
Oh, they're bastards, aren't they?
Oh man, that is
It's,
really,
it's a nanny state, you know. Like, it's just out of control.
really pissed me off. I hate getting fined like that.
You look at how much money they make out of it as well.
Yeah, you should have come in on a boat. You would have been all right.
Yeah, exactly.
They would give you new money, not find you.
Yeah, you would have got away with that, and you would have got 4,000 quid, and you would have got a new car and a house.
And a hotel.
Yeah.
Education.
Yeah.
Yeah, just grow your hair out a little bit, and spend a bit of time in the sun, mate. You'll be right.
Yeah, just don't take Maddie. You've got to be on your own. You've got to be a male.
I'm an engineer or a doctor as well.
Yeah.
We're getting taken over by engineers.
AI can do it though. That's what we should say. Sorry, we don't need you. We've got AI.
Yeah, it was very annoying. So, securing, guys. I think we can fall here from here, but this is the area that, I'm going to leave a runner from here, but I've closed 80%. This is the danger zone for me, but I think we can go down to here. All right.
Hey, you got any ideas on why, real quick before you go, why the pound is so weak today? If I missed something there?
Nah, just Monday flow.
Okay.
I think it's just Monday flow. I'm getting used to these Mondays kind of set up price for the week ahead.
They've just got three yellow folders about to come out in 5 minutes, 48 seconds, but it's 3 in a row. I don't think that'll do too much.
Yeah. It's not even on here. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, so who took the sell? Who took the sell? The second. I mean, who got a trade in here? I mean, it was sells made sense. You guys, we go all the way back to the open, and you remember what I said, that it's really difficult for London to do what when something happens. You guys remember what I said?
I was saying about the buys, wasn't it? They cancelled their buy orders.
So it was had a very profitable days, and very little profit taking happened last week. Yeah. So when you close at the highs of the day, if New York closes at the highs of the day, then that means there's very, very little profit taking. London is sluggish. That's something I've been seeing more and more and more. So because we've got to think as well that it's not just a battle of institutional versus retail. It's institutions hunting each other institutions as well. So London will be very careful taking a buy up near these highs. We're at a level of supply up here as well. London showed its hand initially, and now what we need to do is break the back of people that are holding longs, get them to start selling to close those buys, and then London can do the accumulation. So we also discussed like 4 to 6 lower lows can really start getting people thinking, oh, fuck, this is not uptrend anymore, this is downtrend, and start closing. So the first sell for me was once just going with that bias that once we're selling, if I think we're selling, just selling overbought. That's the simplest way for me to do it. And then the new spike. Oh, then what I was talking about as well was actually looking at this little volume footprint thing. that, remember the level that I drew across here, saying that this was the, I'll go to 5 minute here, and how this was the impulsive push down, and then we had like the upper limit and lower limit of this base. So drop, base, drop. So this base here is supply demand. So if we could retest it and then break the highs, then that's looking bad for the sellers. But if it's just a wick rejection and then we push down, then yeah, downtown we go. So price on the news, the news push that slipped this trade, but it was a rejection. And then I just thought, well, if this is going to reject, then I'm just going to take another sell. So I took the sell once this candle had sort of pushed down. This candle here had closed. I was like, looks like a rejection to me. So then I just took the sell in here. Just got back into it, which is fine because like I already cashed out a lot of it. So it actually gave me an opportunity to get back in. And now got a 2-to-1. Very nice. Taken most of my profit here, 80%. And then now, yeah, to see what the rest does. But to me, this is now like we potentially start getting divergence on the 3 minute, and it's at that demand zone now. What a beautiful day we had. What a nice session it was. What do you think? Like logically, it made sense, didn't it?
Yeah, do you reckon they'll push up during New York? You see that action today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like yeah, absolutely. It could. So I've got a lot of news this week. So like I was thinking that maybe the low of the week would be here. So it just depends on how much it can push down. Maybe New York sort of does some manipulation. Like I still think it's very dangerous to buy from here. So for New York session, like it's hard to know without sort of watching the price action. But I'm assuming that this trend that's been going is going to continue. But it is a heavy news week as well. So I mean, it's really tricky to sort of have a bias for more than a few days. So I'm kind of just looking like at the moment. I think to me, I think stocks is just a scalper's market. I think holding the bias too long is so hard to do in this because it's just so bullish. It's hard to find an entry.
Do you also leave like just a really higher time frame, wide scope, long running buy trade on something like this, given how bullish it is?
Not on stocks, I don't.
No.
Yeah, I find it's difficult on stocks because of the volatility so much. Is that if I give it a really wide stop loss, then I just don't know what I'm trying to achieve. I'm giving it such a wide stop loss. Like it can keep on grinding up, but going with such a wide stop loss, I'm kind of just killing my risk reward. Like if it does move, it doesn't move much in profit because I gave it such a wide stop loss. Whereas I'm already invested in this anyway with my stocks and my ETFs. So to me, that's kind of like if I'm going wide stop loss, I'm really not utilizing leverage. So I've already done that. So with trading, what we're trying to do is like the only reason we're doing this is high risk what we do, but I'm trying to actually use leverage to my advantage, and that's where it's like trying to keep a reasonable stop loss. I think with swing trades it's a bit different on currencies, but because it's not as volatile. But yeah, I try to harness the volatility with this, and like that's why I try to get a bit of a buffer with stocks and with trading, and I invest it. You know, I withdraw from my account consistently, just to keep it at a level that I'm really comfortable with the risk I'm taking on it, and then I invest it into things that are going to go up over time.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, like that's why I kind of gone off gold. Like I just can't focus on it. I'm already invested in gold. Been in gold, physical gold, for a while now. It's been fantastic going up, but as trying to trade it with this volatility, I find it very difficult.
I know, I got stuck in that gold trade with a pending order overnight thinking, look, if things go hot in the Middle East, it'll probably be a good trade, as terrible as that is. And just triggered it, and then when it came down, it's just still running. It wasn't a big position, though. So it's kind of been going sideways on the higher time frames. I'm just going to let it do its thing.
It's too hard to trade gold with like 50 to 70 pip swings. It just stops you out.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got to watch it to trade it.
Crazy.
I can't.
Yeah, my stop loss is 3187. It's currently trading 3293.
Johnny and Michael, you talking about Hong Kong 50?
Gold.
Oh, we're going to gold. So Michael, Hong Kong short since Wednesday. You wish it would end. Oh, you mean like you just want to get out of it with profit?
Wait, for which one are you talking about?
Michael's in Hong Kong 50.
Ah.
You mean you just want to get you just want it to take profit so you can be like certain of the trade? Yeah. That's what it's a real transition to being comfortable swing trading, having trades open.
Flat rate, no premiums. We are 12.2. Front cost. Front cost. Yeah. Look, the design fees. Not all of them yet, no. What have we got? MEP structure and architecture.
Johnny, you got the goal. Yeah, you got the Asia low credit today. Bit of structure across here, wasn't it? For this. Yeah, I'd like to explore the volume footprint to see about this as well. Like I've been finding potentially what a good use of that volume footprint as just a qualifier for zones. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there, guys. I've got to go. It's 9:30. But beautiful day that we had. Congrats the ones that that took sells. This thing is looking very tasty, and we've got a good one.
Thanks, Hayden.
Nice and steady movement.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. It's nice when it's like this because we had a day like this last week. I think it was Wednesday. No, what day was it? I think it was the Wednesday where I got actually dusted trying to buy the book. No, when was it? Was it Tuesday? It was Wednesday. Sorry. This is the day because I learned my lesson here. That Wednesday was it just went down all day, and I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not going to buy the dip initially, but then I did buy the dip, and I was toast. So I've learned from my mistake, and that took me some. Yeah, I wanted to check out a couple things on this weekend just gone. This is one of the lessons I learned, and now we've got almost a very similar day starting at this time. Instead of losing, we're winning. Okay, always review.
I just closed my sell out at the bottom of that 1 hour structure, Hayden.
Oh, far up, man! You're at like 130 pips. So you go up here, come up here. So good.
Yep. 120, I think.
Nice work, Rob. Yeah, review your trades, guys. It's so important to review your trades. It's just underestimated that the time spent reviewing your trades, reviewing your sessions, it will pay you from doing it. Time invested then, will be money earned later on. So we spend the
Thanks,
time
Hayden.
reviewing everything, and all we do is we just come to collect our money then today because we've done the work. Cool. All right, see you guys. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Hayden.
Cheers, Hayden.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Danny.
Hey, Danny.